From the book, The Hidden Mindset of a Trader. Master your emotions, win the market. Everyone has heard this before. Trading is 80% psychology. But understanding it and mastering it is a completely different story. Trading psychology isn't just about controlling emotions. It's about learning to live within uncertainty. It's not simply about staying calm. It's about knowing what truly shakes you. What part of you is reacting? And what part is silently watching? The biggest battle in trading is not with the market. It's with yourself. Your impatience, your greed, your fear of losing, and your fear of missing out. That moment when a price line goes up or down, and your inner world follows it like a puppet on strings. This book is not about indicators, entry points, or systems. It won't teach you how to make $1 million overnight. But it will show you what you're truly trading with every time you click that button. Because it's not just money. It's your beliefs, your wounds, your ego, your need for control. And when you start seeing those things clearly, the market loses its power to break you. In the end, trading is not about fighting. It's not even about winning. It's about understanding who you are and who you become when the numbers stop moving.
Chapter 1. It's not the market, it's you. Most traders believe the market is their opponent, that the candles, indicators, and news are somehow out to get them. But the truth is, the market doesn't even know you exist. It has no emotions, it's not good, it's not evil. It simply moves, up and down, like waves on the ocean. The only real enemy you face in trading is yourself. Your need to be right, your fear of missing out, your habit of jumping in too soon or hesitating too long. These don't come from the market. They come from your mindset, your inner wiring. The market is a mirror. It reflects your deepest patterns: control, ego, fear, overconfidence, doubt. And until you recognize that, you'll keep blaming the charts when really you're just projecting your internal chaos outward. A professional doesn't fight the market. They don't yell at the screen or panic when the chart dips. They observe. They know the market is unpredictable and they accept it. What they focus on is their own reaction. That's the true edge. Not a secret strategy, not a perfect entry, but the ability to stay calm when others are cracking, to remain objective when your mind is screaming at you to act. The day you stop trying to conquer the market and start understanding yourself, that's the day everything begins to shift.
Chapter 2. Your brain on risk. Why you keep making the same bad decisions. Trading is not a logic game. It's a game of reaction. And your reactions are deeply shaped by your brain's ancient architecture, one that was designed to protect you from lions, not red candles. When you enter a trade, your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fear, activates instantly. It doesn't know the difference between a falling chart and a real physical threat. So it reacts the same way: tight chest, racing thoughts, urge to escape, or worse, to act without thinking. That's why you move your stop loss, or chase a trade that's already gone, or revenge trade after a loss. It's not because you're dumb. It's because your brain is wired for survival, not speculation. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that analyzes, is slow. It wants to think, reflect, wait. But in trading, milliseconds matter. So your faster, more emotional brain often takes control. Here's the truth. Every bad decision you make in the market isn't just a technical mistake, it's a biological response. And unless you learn to recognize that, you'll keep repeating the same patterns, even when you know better. Self-awareness is the first step. Not more indicators, not more courses, but more clarity on what happens inside you when risk appears. Because the market isn't just testing your strategy, it's testing your nervous system.
Chapter 3. Beliefs and Ego. You're not just trading a chart. Every time you enter a trade, you're not just interacting with price. You're interacting with your beliefs about money, success, failure, self-worth, and control. Some traders believe they must win to be worthy. Others believe money comes only with pain. Some chase the feeling of being smart. Others fear being wrong more than losing money. These beliefs are usually hidden, but the market exposes them all. Especially when you're under pressure. Especially when you're losing. Then there's the ego, the part of you that can't stand being wrong. The voice that says, I have to prove I'm right. I can't exit now. I'll just add more. I'll be fine. Ego turns a small mistake into a massive loss, not because the chart demanded it, but because your pride couldn't let go. The best traders aren't the smartest. They're the ones who've humbled their ego, who let go of being right in order to stay in the game. They've reprogrammed their beliefs from I must win to I must manage risk, from I hate losing to loss is part of the game. If you don't question your beliefs, they will quietly control you. If you don't tame your ego, it will sabotage you, and then blame the market. You're not just trading candles and lines. You're trading your inner world. And the more aware you become of that, the freer and more profitable you'll be.
Chapter 4. FOMO, Losses, and the Pressure to Get Rich Fast. Let's be honest. Most people come to trading not because they love charts, but because they want freedom, fast money, escape from the 9-to-5, a life on their own terms. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when the dream is too loud and the discipline is too weak, you start chasing setups, chasing profits, chasing the version of yourself you're not yet ready to be. FOMO isn't just fear of missing out. It's the fear that you're falling behind, that others are winning while you're stuck, that you have to catch up now. That fear whispers, enter now. Double your risk. One big win will fix everything. And that's exactly when you start losing. Losses hurt, but not just financially. They hurt your identity, especially if you've attached your self-worth to your account size. That's why one small red candle can ruin your whole day, or why one bad week makes you want to quit. Then comes the pressure. I need to grow fast. I should be farther by now. I'm running out of time. But trading doesn't work on your timeline. It doesn't care how badly you want it. And the harder you push, the more the market pushes back. The antidote to FOMO is presence. The antidote to pressure is patience. And the way to build real freedom is not through one lucky trade, but through 1,000 disciplined ones.
Chapter 5. Why you can't stick to discipline even when you know better. You've read the books. You've watched the videos. You know what you should do. Cut losses. Don't overtrade. Follow your plan. Wait for confirmation. And yet, you don't. You break rules you swore to follow. You enter too early. Exit too late. Double down when you shouldn't. Trade when you're emotional. And then regret it immediately. Why? Because discipline isn't about knowledge. It's about emotion regulation. When the pressure rises, your nervous system looks for relief. And the quickest relief? Action. Clicking the mouse, entering the trade, taking back control, even if it breaks your rules. At that moment, your brain doesn't care about the plan. It cares about survival, about avoiding pain, about doing something to stop the discomfort. That's why discipline isn't just about trying harder. It's about training your body to stay calm when tension appears. Real discipline means being able to sit in the discomfort and do nothing. To watch price move without chasing. To feel the urge and not act on it. To lose and not take revenge. This is a kind of mastery that goes beyond strategy. Because the market isn't testing your plan, it's testing your self-control. And you don't rise to your level of knowledge, you fall to your level of nervous system training.
Chapter 6. The Self-Blame Spiral. When you start hating yourself. Losing money hurts, but what hurts more is when you knew better and still did the wrong thing. That's when blame turns inward. When the charts are quiet, but your mind is loud. Why did I do that again? What's wrong with me? I'll never get this right. This is the self-blame spiral. And it's more dangerous than any losing streak. Because it doesn't just attack your strategy, it attacks your identity. You stop seeing the loss as a mistake. You start seeing yourself as the mistake. From, I took a bad trade, to, I'm a bad trader. From, that was impulsive, to, I'm hopeless. And here's the trap. The more you shame yourself, the more unstable you become. The more unstable you are, the more likely you are to overtrade just to prove you're not a failure, which leads to more losses, more self-blame, a deeper spiral. But here's what no one tells you. You can't heal through punishment. Discipline isn't born from shame. Mastery doesn't come from self-hate. You don't need to destroy yourself to grow. You need to understand yourself. What triggered that impulse? What emotion were you avoiding? What belief were you acting out? Ask, not to judge, but to become aware. Because the more compassion you have toward yourself, the more stable your psychology becomes. And the more stable you are, the less the market can shake you.
Chapter 7. The Emotional Journal. Turning your weakness into power. Most traders journal their trades. Entry, exit, result. But almost no one journals their emotions. And that's a mistake. Because you don't just need data. You need self-awareness. Your biggest edge is not in the chart. It's in your ability to notice patterns. Not just market patterns, but emotional ones. When do you feel most anxious? When do you rush? What kind of setups make you hesitate? What kinds of losses make you spiral? If you don't track that, you'll keep repeating it. Not because you lack strategy, but because you lack clarity. Start small. After each session, ask, what did I feel before, during, and after each trade? Was I trading from a clear plan or from emotion? What triggered me today? What did I learn about myself? Don't just log the chart. Log the inner experience. Over time, you'll notice patterns. I get impulsive after a win. I revenge trade when I'm tired. I overtrade when I feel stuck in life. These are gold, because now you're not just reacting, you're becoming aware. And awareness is the foundation of change. You can't fix what you don't see,
But once you see it, you gain power. Not power over the market, but power over yourself. And in trading, that's everything.
Chapter 8. The Psychological Shadows of Trading. Trading doesn't just expose your patterns, it reveals your shadows, the parts of you that are hidden, denied, or suppressed. These are the emotions you don't want to feel, the stories you don't want to admit, the needs you try to cover with profits. Maybe it's the deep need to prove your worth. Maybe it's unresolved anger from failure. Maybe it's shame from your past with money. And when you sit in front of the chart, all of it comes alive, not with words, but with reactions. You overtrade, not because you're undisciplined, but because you're trying to fill a hole. You hold a losing trade too long, because you're afraid of being wrong. You keep switching strategies, not because they don't work, but because you don't trust yourself. Trading is intense, not because of the risk, but because of the mirror it holds up. Every moment is a chance to see what's unhealed, and most people don't want to look. So they blame the market, or keep searching for the perfect system. Anything to avoid facing themselves. But if you're willing to look, to sit with the discomfort, to ask, what is this really about? You begin to transform, not just as a trader, but as a human being. The shadows don't go away by avoiding them. They lose power when you bring them into the light. And trading, uncomfortable as it is, offers you that light. Chapter 9. Redefining Success. What are you really chasing? Most traders start with the same idea. If I make money, I'll be successful. If I'm successful, I'll be happy. But how many profitable traders do you know who are still restless, still overtrading, still afraid? That's because success, real success, isn't just about results. It's about your relationship with yourself as you pursue those results. If trading turns you into someone anxious, reactive, obsessed, is that really success? What are you truly chasing? A sense of freedom? Control over your life? A way to feel smart, validated, enough? Those are human needs, and they're real, but no amount of wins will satisfy them if they come from a place of lack. There's a danger in tying your identity to your P&L, because when the profits fade, your confidence does too. And when your confidence fades, you no longer trust your system, your skills, or your future. You end up chasing again, not the market, but the version of yourself you think you need to become. Real success is this: being calm under pressure, being consistent through chaos, measuring yourself not by results, but by how you show up. Because in trading, you won't always win, but you can always grow. And that, quietly, is the deepest kind of success.
Chapter 10. The Loneliness of a Trader. No one really talks about it, but trading can be deeply lonely. You spend hours staring at screens. You make decisions in silence. You celebrate wins quietly. You carry losses privately. No team, no boss, no one to say, "It's okay, you did your best." Even when you try to explain your world to others, most don't understand. They see it as gambling, or luck, or just numbers on a screen. But they don't see the pressure, the hours of backtesting, the emotional roller coaster, the discipline it takes just to sit and wait. And when you lose, there's no one to blame. Just you. Your decision, your account, your responsibility. That kind of radical ownership can feel empowering, but over time, it can also feel heavy. This is why so many traders quit.
not because they couldn't build a strategy, but because they couldn't carry the emotional weight alone. So what do? You connect with yourself, with a journal, with a mentor, with the community. You don't have to share your trades, but share your experience. You remind yourself, solitude doesn't have to mean isolation. And in the quiet moments, you build something few people ever do. A self that is stable, even when no one is watching. A mind that is resilient, even when no one is cheering.
Chapter 11. Lessons from a winning trade. Winning feels great. The adrenaline, the validation, the high. But hidden inside every win is a test just as real and just as dangerous as a loss. After a win, your brain lights up. Dopamine floods your system. You feel powerful, in control, like you've finally cracked the code. And that's where the danger begins. One win can make you overconfident. You increase your lot size. You stop following your rules. You chase the next trade thinking, this is my moment. But it's not mastery. It's momentum, and emotion disguised as certainty. A winning trade is not proof you figured it all out. It's just a data point. The market doesn't owe you a streak, and success doesn't mean you're invincible. The smartest traders treat wins with humility. They don't get attached. They log it, learn from it, and return to neutral. The real question isn't, how much did you make? It's, did you follow your plan? Did you size correctly? Were you calm, clear, focused? That's how you know if a win is repeatable or just luck in disguise. Because in trading, a win can build your confidence or inflate your ego. And what you do after a win says more about your psychology than the win itself.
Chapter 12. Lessons from a losing trade. No one likes to lose. Not in trading, not in life. But losses are not the enemy. Your relationship with loss is. Most traders see a loss as failure, a hit to their intelligence, a threat to their identity. But a loss is just a message. And if you listen carefully, it tells you exactly where you need to grow. Maybe the setup wasn't strong. Maybe your entry was emotional. Maybe your risk was too high. Or maybe you did everything right, and it still didn't work. That's not failure. That's probability. That's trading. The real danger isn't the red number. It's what you make it mean. I'm not good enough. I'll never make it. This system is broken. These thoughts don't come from logic. They come from fear. A losing trade is a mirror. It shows you how well you accept uncertainty, how attached you are to outcome, how quickly you spiral under pressure. And if you can observe that without judgment, the loss becomes a teacher. The best traders aren't those who avoid losses. They're the ones who learn fastest from them, who don't let one red candle erase their identity, who say, this was part of the game. What can I see more clearly now? Because if you only learn from wins, you'll grow slowly. But if you learn deeply from losses, you'll grow into someone the market can't shake.
Chapter 13. Emotional risk. The cost you didn't plan for. Every trade has a stop loss. Every strategy has risk management. But there's one cost most traders never calculate: emotional risk. Emotional risk is what happens when a single trade affects your mood, your sleep, your relationships, your self-worth. It's the weight you carry after a loss, the obsession that keeps you up at night, the guilt, the self-doubt, the pressure to fix it all in one trade. And here's the irony. You set a risk limit on your capital, but leave your mind and emotions unprotected.
So even when you lose just 1% of your account, you might lose 80% of your mental clarity. Over time, this emotional drain adds up. You stop trusting your edge. You become reactive. You trade to escape the pressure, not from logic, but from emotional fatigue. That's why smart traders don't just manage money. They manage energy. They know when to stop for the day, not because the market demands it, but because their mind needs recovery. They build routines that restore them. They learn to step away, reflect, reset. Emotional risk isn't visible on a chart, but it's real. And if you ignore it, it'll slowly burn you out from the inside. The true cost of trading isn't always monetary. Sometimes it's the piece of yourself you keep giving away without even noticing.
Chapter 14. The Reset. How to begin again without shame. Everyone falls. Everyone breaks a rule. Everyone blows up a trade or even an account. What separates those who survive from those who quit isn't perfection. It's the ability to begin again without shame. Shame says, "You're a failure. You should have known better. You'll never get this right." And if you believe it, you stop trying. Or worse, you keep trading, not to grow, but to punish yourself. But here's the truth. Resetting is not weakness. It's strength. It's saying, I made a mistake, but I'm not the mistake. I lost, but I'm still worth showing up. That's power. Quiet power. The market will always give you another chance, but only if you give yourself one first. And that means stepping away, reflecting without judgment, rebuilding slowly with respect for the process, returning not with revenge, but with clarity. No great trader rose without falling, but the ones who rose for good learned to fall gracefully, with humility, with honesty, with the courage to face themselves and try again. You don't start over from zero. You start over wiser. Every scar, every setback, every breakdown becomes part of your edge when you reset with self-respect.
Chapter 15. Emotional mastery is life mastery. At first, trading feels like just a skill. You learn strategies, patterns, risk management. But as you go deeper, you realize trading is a mirror for your entire life. How you handle pressure on the chart reflects how you handle stress at home. How you respond to uncertainty in price mirrors how you face uncertainty in relationships, in health, in the future. Your fears, your impatience, your ego, they don't come from the market. They come from you. So every time you build awareness, every time you regulate an impulse, every time you choose discipline over drama, you're not just becoming a better trader. You're becoming a more conscious human being. The real goal isn't just profit. It's inner stability. Because from that place, profits come naturally. But more importantly, peace comes. Emotional mastery is not about never feeling fear. It's about not being ruled by it. It's not about suppressing emotion. It's about seeing it clearly, holding it gently, and choosing from a place of clarity. The market, in its chaos, trains you in patience, in presence, in personal truth. And if you let it, it will not only grow your account, but reshape your character. Because in the end, the trader who wins is not the one who always guesses right, but the one who knows how to come back, to stay centered, and to lead themselves, no matter what the chart says.
Final words to the trader who feels lost. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you refuses to give up. Even if your confidence is shaken, even if your account is small, even if no one around you understands what you're building, that's strength. Not the loud, flashy kind, but the quiet resilience of someone who keeps showing up, even when it's hard. Trading will test every part of you. It will expose your fears, your ego, your impatience. But if you allow it, it will also teach you how to be present, how to listen, how to trust, how to rise again. This is not just about charts and candles. This is about becoming the kind of person who can face uncertainty and still stand tall. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not too late. You're becoming. And that becoming takes time, mistakes, and moments like this, where you feel lost but keep going anyway. So take a deep breath. Step back when you need to. Return with a softer heart, a clearer mind, and steady your hands. You don't need to trade perfectly. You just need to trade from your center, the part of you that's calm, aware, and unshakable. And remember, the real win is not what you gain, but who you become through it all.